Hey guys, this is Andrew with rockclass101.com. So real quick, before I hand it off to Steven to teach you guys these three awesome bass lines, I just want to let you know that if you'd like to download the tabs to print off as a PDF file and follow along with this lesson, that's going to be available for premium members at rockclass101.com. So you can click this link right here, or you can go to the site and just do a search for three blues bass lines. That's the title for this lesson. Now at that page, you're also going to get access to the on-screen tab viewer. Now this is a really cool feature where you can hit play, watch the tab scroll across in real time. You can highlight bars to loop sections. You can slow it down to any speed that you want. Just a really great asset for learning these three bass lines that much easier. And last but not least, there's also going to be three backing tracks. So as you heard, there's a drum track in the background, and there's going to be three backing tracks that you can download. One is at 100% full speed, another's at 75% speed, and the last one's at 50% speed. So you can be practicing along all three bass lines with the drums. You can jam out, rock out at home as you're learning this. All right guys, enough about me, and I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Steven to teach you this.
Hey guys, Stephen Cox here, and today we're going to learn three bass lines that follow the 12-bar blues form. If you don't already know the 12-bar blues form, you can click up here. So these bass lines go from beginner to advanced. So we're going to start very simple, just following the form, and then we're going to add some variations as we go along. So let's start with line number 1. So we're going to learn the pattern that we're going to apply to the entire 12-bar blues in this first measure. So here's the first measure. So since this is the beginner line, we're only going to use one finger on the plucking hand. So just use your pointer finger for every single note. So with your left hand, with your fretting hand, we're going to play the 3rd fret on the E string, the 2nd fret on the A string, the 5th fret on the A string, the 2nd fret on the D string, and we're going to come back to the 5th fret on the A string. So you might notice that on my left hand, I've been using one finger per fret the entire time. So basically we're assigning our fingers to specific frets so that we don't confuse our hand and move sideways and forget where we are. So your middle finger will be playing 3rd frets all the time. Your pointer finger will be playing 2nd frets. Your ring finger will be playing any 4th frets, which we don't really have any. So the ring finger kind of gets a break for most of the song. And then we've got our pinky for the 5th frets. So this has a very simple rhythm where it's just 3 quarter notes and 2 eighth notes at the end. So we'd count this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and. So here we go. Let's play it together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and. So let's play it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now that we have the first measure down, we're just going to repeat this 4 times. So let's play it together. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we're going to move our pattern to the 4 chord. For those of you that know the blues form. If you don't know the blues form, that just means that every note is going to move this way 1 string. So we're going to start with the 3rd fret on the A string. Then we're going to play the 2nd fret on the D string. Then we're going to play the 5th fret on the D string, the 2nd fret on the G string, and the 5th fret on the D string once again. And this rhythm is still 1, 2, 3, 4, and. So you play this pattern 2 times. So let's play it together. 1, 2, 3, 4. So after we've played the 4 chord 2 times, we're going to go back to the original pattern in measure 7, and we're going to play it 2 times. So after we've done this, we're going to move the pattern up to the 5 chord. So this is going to start on the 5th fret of the A string. And it's going to sound like this. So this is the 5th fret on the A string, the 4th fret on the D string, the 7th fret on the D string, the 4th fret on the G string, and then back to the 7th fret on the D string. So let's play this one together. 1, 2, 3, 4. So after we play this measure, we're going to go back to the pattern from the 4 chord. So this is the one that starts on the 3rd fret on the A string. So once again, that's the 3rd fret on the A string, 2nd fret on the D string, 5th fret on the D string, 2nd fret on the G string, and back to the 5th fret on the D string. So let's start at measure 9 and play the 5 chord and the 4 chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that brings us to measure 11 and 12, which are just the first pattern 2 times. So let's do that together. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now that we've gotten all the way through the line, let's play the entire 12 bars one time together. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's move on to line 2, the intermediate bass line. So this also has a pattern that we're going to apply to pretty much all 12 bars of the form. So this pattern is going to sound like this. So this is the first measure of the form. So we're going to start on the 3rd fret on the E string, and we're going to play 2 notes. So with our right hand, we're plucking index middle, and we're actually going to alternate these all the way through the line. So it's going to be index middle, index middle, index middle, index middle. So after we do the 3rd frets on the E string, we're going to do the 2nd fret on the A string twice. Then we're going to play the 5th fret on the A string twice. Then we're going to play the 2nd fret on the D string and the 5th fret on the A string. So this rhythm is just going to be straight 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So once again, we're going to alternate all the way through, and the confusing part of this is when you get to the end, your index finger is going to be on the 2nd fret of the D string, and then your middle finger is going to play the 5th fret of the A string. So your middle finger is going to pluck the 5th fret. So let's play this together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So now we're going to repeat this for a total of 3 times. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So in the 4th measure of line 2, instead of repeating this pattern one more time like we normally would, we're going to do a variation where we walk into the next chord. So we're going to do this by playing the 3rd fret on the E string 2 times. We're still going to do the 2nd fret on the A string 2 times. The 5th fret on the A string, also 2 times. And then now we're going to go to the 4th fret on the A string. And we're also going to play that 2 times. So this sounds like this. So let's play the first 4 measures of the song using that variation as the 4th measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Alright, so now we are at the 4 chord. So we're just going to take our original pattern and we're going to move the notes to start on the 3rd fret of the A string. So this is moving every note this way a string. So here's what the pattern sounds like. So this is going to be the 3rd fret on the A string 2 times, the 2nd fret on the D string also 2 times, then we're going to play the 5th fret on the D string 2 times, then we're going to play the 2nd fret on the G string just 1 time, and the 5th fret on the D string just 1 time. So let's play these 2 measures together, starting at measure 17, or the 5th bar of line 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So the next 2 bars, we're just going to go back to our original pattern, the 1 chord, for 2 measures. So let's play these 2 measures together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So this brings us to measure 9 of our 12-bar form, or measure 21 on the tabs. So we're now going to our 5 chord, which is going to start on the 5th fret of the A string. It's going to sound like this. So we're going to start on the 5th fret of the A string, and we're going to play it 2 times. Then we're going to play the 4th fret of the D string 2 times, the 7th fret of the D string 2 times, the 4th fret of the G string 1 time, and the 7th fret of the D string 1 time. So let's play that together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Now we're going to move back to the 4 chord. So this is the part of the pattern that starts on the 3rd fret of the A string. So this is 3rd fret of the A string twice, 2nd fret of the D string 2 times, 5th fret D string 2 times, 2nd fret of the G string 1 time, and then 5th fret of the D string 1 time. So let's play that one together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So let's go back to measure 9, which is measure 21 of the tablature, and we're going to play the 5 chord and the 4 chord back to back. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So after that, we're on the last 2 bars of the form. This is measure 23 if you're following along with the tabs, and measure 11 of the form. So we're just going to go back to the original pattern, and we're going to play it 1 time, and then we're going to play a variation on the last bar of the form. So first we've got 3rd fret on the E string 2 times, 2nd fret on the A string 2 times, 5th fret of the A string 2 times, and then we've got the 2nd fret of the D string 1 time, Then we move back to the 5th fret of the A string one time. And now we're going to do a little walk up to finish out the 12 bar form. So here's what the last bar will sound like. So we're going to start on the 3rd fret of the E string. We're going to play that 2 times. Then we're going to play the 2nd fret of the A string 2 times. The 3rd fret of the A string 2 times. Then we're going to play the 4th fret of the A string only 1 time. And the 5th fret of the A string 1 time as well. So let's play the last 2 measures together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So let's play the intermediate line from beginning to end together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, so it's time for the advanced line. So the advanced line, like the intermediate, alternates fingers pretty much all the way through it. And it's also based around a 12-bar pattern, which means that the first bar will give us our pattern for most of the rest of the piece, with the exception of a couple of variations. So here's the first measure of the advanced line. So we're going to start on the 3rd fret of the E string, and we're going to play that note 2 times. Then we're going to play the 2nd fret of the A string 1 time, the 5th fret of the A string, also just once. Now we're going to go up to the D string, and we're going to use our pointer finger on our right hand, which is kind of strange, but we're keeping that alternating going. So I'm not skipping any fingers over here, to play the 3rd fret of the D string. Now we're going to come back down to the 5th fret of the A string. Then we're going to go back to the 3rd fret on the D string. And then we're going to go back to the 5th fret on the D string. So let's play this together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So now that we know the pattern for the advanced line, we're going to play this 3 times in a row. Let's play it together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So for the 4th bar of the advanced line, we're going to do a variation where we start on the 3rd fret of the E string and we walk our way up to where the 4 chord starts, which would be the 3rd fret on the A string. So this is going to sound like this. So we're going to start on the 3rd fret on the E string, then we're going to play the open A string, then the 1st fret on the A string, the 2nd fret on the A string, and that's going to lead us to the 3rd fret on the A string, which is where we're going to start the next pattern. So let's play measure 28, which is the 4th bar of the 12-bar form, together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I want to mention that this little walk up actually takes us out of our normal finger pattern, and we have to slide our hand back a fret to get the 1st fret. But once we do this walk up, we should move back into the original position where our middle finger is on the 3rd fret, so that when we start the next pattern, we're ready to go. So now we're going to go to the 4 chord. So here's the 5th bar of the 12 bar form, or measure 29 if you're following along on the tabs. So we're going to start on the 3rd fret on the A string, and we're going to play this note twice. Now we're going to play the 2nd fret on the D string, the 5th fret on the D string, the 3rd fret on the G string, the 5th fret on the D string, the 3rd fret on the G string, and the 5th fret on the G string. And we're going to do this 2 times. So let's play this part of the song, starting at measure 5 of this form, together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So measures 7 and 8 are just like the beginning of the form. So this is the first bar. If you want to go back to the first bar of this line, it just happens 2 times. So this is starting on the 3rd fret of the E string. We're just doing the pattern that we already know. Let's play it together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So this brings us to measure 9, and we're going to go up to the 5 chord for measure 9. So this is where we're doing our original pattern, only we're starting on the 5th fret of the A string. And this sounds like this. So we'll start this measure on the 5th fret of the A string, and we'll play that 2 times. Then we're going to play the 4th fret on the D string, the 7th fret on the D string, the 5th fret of the G string. We're going to go back to the 7th fret of the D string, back to the 5th fret of the G string, and to the 7th fret of the G string. So let's play this together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now we're going to go back to the 4 chord from the form. So measure 34, which is measure 10 of the 12 bar form, is going to look exactly like measures 5 and 6 of the 12 bar form. So this is the pattern starting from the 3rd fret on the A string. Let's play measures 9 and 10 together, which is on the tab measure 33 and measure 34. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So after this, we go back to the original pattern, and we're going to play it 1 time at measure 11 of the pattern. And after measure 11, the final measure of the 12 bar form, we're going to play a little walk up to end the song. And after this 12th bar, there is a 13th bar just as a final ending to the song. So this is not part of the 12 bar form at the very end. It's just an extra little note. But let's go back to the 12th bar. So we're going to play a little walk up that starts on the 3rd fret of the E string. And it sounds like this. So we're going to play the 3rd fret of the E string, the 2nd fret of the A string, then the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th fret still on the A string. Then we're going to move up to the D string and also play the 3rd fret, the 4th fret, and the 5th fret. And then finally, we're going to end that after this measure with the 3rd fret on the E string. So let's play the 12th and 13th measure together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. All right, let's play the entire advanced line together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, I hope you enjoyed these 3 12-bar lines. Please remember to start slow and learn the pattern really well before you go through the rest of the piece.
Hey guys, so I hope you enjoyed this lesson. These 3 bass lines, they're just so much fun to play. I just wanted to give you a friendly reminder, if you'd like to download the tabs to print off and follow along with, that's going to be available on this page. Or you can go to the site, rockclass101.com, and do a search for 3 blues bass lines. That's the title for this lesson. And don't forget, on that page is also the on-screen tab viewer, that interactive tab player where you can highlight bars, loop sections, watch the tab scroll across in real time, and the backing track. So there's 3 speeds for this lesson. So you get the drum backing track at 100, 75, and 50% speed. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Check out the site for more U-based lessons, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.